been enjoying Invincible. It is such a great show. And as you guys know, this show went on hiatus, and all it said was to be announced when the next episode was coming out. I was getting stressed. My partner and I were like, oh my god, are they seriously just gonna stop and go on a break after only 4 freaking episodes? And then he tells me yesterday that it's actually back and the 5th episode came out. For you guys watching and you don't know what Invincible is, get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Because honestly, you're gonna want to watch this from the start. Again, one thing I really like about the show is the sound design. Oh my god. Like when you're watching this, you actually feel as though you're there. You actually hear everything as though you're actually hearing it. The gunshots, the sound effects. The only thing I have to complain about is from the dialogue to the sound effects and music, it goes from very quiet to very loud. I wish they would fix that because sometimes we're turning up everything to hear them talk, and then when the action sequences happen, then we're like, shit, turn it down, turn it down. But man, is it gory. Oh my god, like some of the scenes that actually happen, man, oh boy. And there's one more thing I'd like to say, and for those of you who are watching, you've never watched this and you're still here and you don't care about spoilers, nothing I'm saying is going to really make sense to you. Maybe it will, but you're going to understand what I'm talking about better if you actually watch the show. So we get this rock guy who's introduced in the last episodes, and he's supposedly a bad guy, but then we're made to think he's a good guy. I knew he wasn't a good guy because he made the excuse when he asked Invincible for help that there are no bad guys. I'm not a criminal. I just got stuck in a bad situation. Really, bro? Listen, I think it's really a really great teaching lesson because this guy also left Invincible for dead. Because if someone, regardless of however you want to spin it, is desperate for money because for whatever reason they made the wrong choices or life dealt them a bad hand, and they go and work for someone that they know is in the mafia or knows is a gangster, and then they go and kidnap other people's family members or blow up the houses with children inside of them, how can you then say, I'm not a criminal, I just got stuck in a bad spot? You know, I had money and I had my family to take care of, so I couldn't help it. That's why you did human trafficking, my guy? Oh, so that makes you totally innocent. No, it still makes you a criminal. But the way he tries to finagle Invincible, and he's young and stupid, his father told him, hey, you shouldn't trust people like that. And I was thinking the whole time, don't trust this guy, don't trust this guy. If he's a lowlife and he can hurt other people to get by for his family, he's going to hurt you too. And that's exactly what frickin' happened. And man, in that last fight scene. Whew! So let's just go through the episode a little bit by bit, bits that stuck out to me, and let's talk about it. One thing I like is the dynamic between Matt and his girlfriend, Amber, because whoa, she doesn't know he's a superhero, and honestly, you have to understand that if somebody is always out and doing something else and running off to quote-unquote save the world, and you know that your world is full of superheroes and villains, why would that not be your go-to? Because even jokingly, I'd be like, what are you, a superhero or something?
No way you're gonna be mad at me.
And how do you figure that?
Because I brought you Japanese cheesecake?
You went all the way across town to get cheesecake.
Yep.
To make up for being late because you went across town to get cheesecake?
Is that crazy?
Yeah, it kind of is.
He's so adorable, and he clearly likes this girl, and she clearly likes him, but it's the whole Peter Parker, Mary Jane situation where he's always running off, and she has no idea what's going on, and the thing is, he cannot even be honest with her, because it's not that he doesn't want to tell her, but telling someone that you're a superhero automatically puts that person in danger. Because what if she's captured and tortured, and then she spills the beans about who you are? Like, I know more than anybody how important privacy is. Could you imagine if you were a superhero? Not only do you have to sacrifice your social life to keep the world safe, but then the little bit of social life you have, you'll be harassed by people and possibly killed by people and your family targeted just because people know your identity. And unfortunately, it's not like he's married to this girl. It's not like he can exactly trust her with this information, and he's smart enough to know that. On one hand, I'm like hoping that he tells her, but on the other hand, I'm kind of worried because I'm like, what if he does tell her and then she spills the beans? As mad as she is with him missing dinner with her mom and all the important events of her life, it's starting to wear on her and the relationship. And he keeps trying to make up for it, and it helps that he's charming, but you don't see this lasting a long time. This is part of the reason why I feel for people who are in the military and people who are policemen and firemen, because we look at these shows and we're like, ooh, superheroes, I'd love to be a superhero. But we have real life superheroes on Earth. Okay, they don't have superpowers, but they put their bodies in danger to protect us every single day. Their whole job is a walking time bomb. And their wives and children, and they are probably wondering if today's the day something's gonna go wrong and they're gonna get popped or die in a freaking fire. It doesn't matter how trained they are, bad shit can always happen. Things are always unpredictable, and you can try your best to be prepared for it, but bad stuff still happens. Soldiers and officers and firemen die all the time, and it takes somebody strong to be with someone like this, and I'm sorry, I'm not that person. I would miss my husband too much, or my boyfriend, and I'd be worried about them all the time. I can't take that kind of shit. Like, that's just not the life for me. But it must be so lonely for them, because so many of them have high divorce rates, or their family leaves them, or the soldiers come home and realize that their wife moved on, and oh my god, like, it's really hard and very lonely for these people, and they have this thankless job where they come home and as vets, or they were honorably discharged, and then nobody takes care of them. They have to go back and work at Walmart. They have all these mental issues, and people just cast them to the side like forgotten pieces of paper that they threw in the trash. And it makes me so freaking sad, because this is actually something that happens in reality. Which is why, if you're one of these people, or if you're a high-profile person like an actor or a politician, it makes sense to be with someone who is kind of in your circle in that field. I know that people have this Disney-esque vision of what it would be like to be with the king, but even you look at situations like Meghan Markle, and honestly, I know everyone was happy for her. I low-key was kind of happy for her too. I'm like, good for her. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, was she prepared for this? Like, because you know how movies tell you, oh, when you're with the prince, it's gonna be all roses and romantic and you don't have to do shit? That's not true. Half of the time, if people knew exactly what that life entailed, they would not see it as romantic. And that's why royalty usually marries with royalty, actors usually marry actors, and so on and so forth. So I think the way things are setting up here is that eventually Amber's gonna get over on it if hopefully she's not a villain, because I'm thinking, like, low-key, is she a villain? Because she could not have put it together that he's a freaking hero. And then we got this girl who was dating another superhero, and then he broke up with her because he was cheating on her. And it's like the other thing too, like, if you're a superhero and you're a guy, every girl's gonna want to be with you, even other superhero girls. There's always gonna be that competition factor. It sucks, but this is the life, and that's one of those things that Mark or Matt is gonna have to, wait, what the frick is his name? Mark. I don't know why I was calling him Matt. That's one of those things Mark is gonna have to learn. And I like this show because it tackles these things. His dad is trying to prepare him and tell him, son, you're gonna have to give this up. You know how this works, right? You have a responsibility to the entire planet. It's not like you're just the president of the United States. You have to protect the entire planet and try to do as minimal damage as you can while you're doing it, which seems like an impossible task. And you're gonna have to give up a social life, and you're gonna always be in danger 24/7 because there are other people with superpowers out there that want to kill you too, and other people. Whew, I'm stressed just thinking about it. So I understand where Mark was coming from because he wants to make his own choices being an adult, but on the other hand, he forgets that his dad is way more experienced than he is in being a superhero. So then something really bad happens.
You're so strong and tough, and you fly all over the goddamn place. It's amazing.
I love Daft Punk over there. It's so stupid. Frickin' T-Pain, the villain.
80% agreement.
But Mark learns the very hard way. That, your dad is right, dude. Sometimes, I know you hate saying it, but sometimes your parents are right. The thing is, Omni-Man is seeing all of this go down. He knows his son is gonna get beat the fuck up. And he stands outside and calls his friends in to help him. I think he's the one that did the anonymous call. Oh, God. But, like, I'm wondering to myself, Dad, you gonna come save him? But Mark did say he has to grow up, and his dad knows it's kind of hard to kill his son at this point because his son is really strong. You do see an example of that in the beginning of the episode.
Can't make it tonight. Just got hit by something. To see me on my best behavior.
Do not miss dinner with my mom on Thursday if you...
Of the world. Seriously?
Oh my god, that was great. That was so well done. So you get an idea of how hard it is to kill this guy. Like, that's a good idea. And then his dad is training him. And by the way, they let us know that, or it's actually implied that based on how they set things up, that his dad has been training him this whole time, every single day.
Now just throw it back into space.
So that's a testament to how strong he is. Remember, Omni-Man is basically Superman in this universe. Or actually, Superman is Omni-Man in this universe, but like a evil, weirdish version. His son is Viltrumite, which is the alien that his dad is, but his son is also part human. But he's still that frickin' strong, which should tell you how strong his frickin' dad is. If this guy is a hybrid, which I'm guessing Viltrumite blood is Viltrumite blood is very potent, meaning their DNA is, woo, sperm can swim. But if this kid is still a hybrid, he's not 100%. He's always gonna be either 99 to 1%. He obviously has a lot of his dad's DNA, but keep in mind, this kid is still a hybrid, and he's still very young. No. Ow! You see? Oh my god. Oh no. Oh shit. Okay. Let's Give me 1 second, I need some water. Alright, so I'm back. Jesus Christ. Ouch. You know, yeah, so I took a longer break than I expected because I got lost down the rabbit hole of the We'll Be Right Back videos. They get progressively funny. I feel so bad for Samson here. Like, at this point, these guys are literally getting the floor wiped with them. Even my partner was thinking this couldn't be real, but it was. I mean, of all things, Mark got plastered. He came back really well to try and protect Samson, who I love, and I hope Samson will be okay, because right now it seems like he is the glue that holds the group together. He's the only one that cares about people in terms of that they keep the damage to a minimum, and coming up with strategies and plan to take down the bad guys better and save as many people as possible, which is what their purpose is. I love him being the leader for this little group, and then to see him get mad and try to protect Invincible like that, and then get hurt that way, he can't die. And I feel so sorry for Mark right here. Like, he wasn't trying to, the thing is, he's not a bad kid. It's not like he went out of his way and said, "Fuck you, daddy," and just went to do his own thing, even though he's technically an adult. He actually thought he was doing the right thing. He listened to what his mother had to say. He listened to what his dad had to say. But in the end, he has to make his own decisions. And I think his dad was trying to teach him, like, look, you can do that, but, you're gonna have to pay for the consequences of your decisions, regardless of whether or not they were noble. And so this part is really sad.
But
Ow. I do like this villain too, because he's like, his whole purpose of being there, his payment for being here is having a challenge on another planet, somebody worthy of beating him. And he looks at these superheroes and he's like, what is this? Yeah, I'm out of here, man. These people are so I can kill them so easy, and there's no honor in smushing insects. So after this, he bounces and goes through his portal or whatever. Meanwhile, Omni-Man's up there like, yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out, let my son do himself. Or, you know what I mean.
Invincible! Black Samson, retreat!
And that's where he snaps his freaking hand. This episode was tough to watch. But the worst part, to add insult to injury, is when you find out in the end that this guy here is actually the villain, and the whole point why he wanted Mark to help him in the first place was so that he could take over from the boss. The only way he could get his family out of the stress they were in by Machine Head, the boss who hired the other strong super people, is to basically kill Machine Head. And after this, we find out that he was behind this the whole time to take over being the boss and take care of the city. Hopefully, he will be a better person for it, because that guy was terrorizing the place. But at the same time, he lied to this kid and left him for dead. And he's doing it for survival, but then the ethics come into place. Is it worth killing a whole bunch of people to save your family? I mean, honestly, if I had to choose between saving my family and saving a whole bunch of strangers, that will just be like, oh, thanks, you were so kind, 15 minutes of thanking you. All right, we're on our way now, see you later. Yeah, no, I'm choosing my family. But he didn't even get him to a hospital, he just left him there.
Sorry, kid. Didn't mean for it to end this way. But I gotta take care of mine. Hope you make it.
Deuces. What the hell? Wow. I mean, for all we know, he might have called the authorities and let them know what happened. It's pretty clear. Everyone could see what was going on. There were explosions coming from there. But still, that was so freaking cold. And that's why you gotta think twice before helping people in their shit that they put themselves in, because that's what usually ends up happening. Trust me, I know. Oh, I'm your friend. Help me. Give me money. Help me. And then when they're good and they used you up and you're hurt, or you're worse for wear because of it, then they're like, all right, see ya, peace. Thanks, but don't ever contact me again. All right. Good looking out. So he learned a valuable lesson then. I mean, you should still help people because, you know, but little things like this was hard because I see it from Rockhead's perspective, but I also see it from Omni-Man's perspective, and I see it from Mark's perspective. It was a hard episode to watch, to be honest. I see it from everyone's perspective. Everyone's just going through some crap, and you get to understand how human they are in what they're dealing with, each of their problems. The villains aren't just one-dimensional. There are a lot of one-dimensional villains here, but for the ones they choose to focus on, they're not so one-dimensional. You see their motivations and why they do what they do. Anyways, I love this episode. I can't wait for the others to come out. What did you guys think about this episode? Let us know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.